machine. All around town, people trying to get down. It's like a loop machine.
And we welcome you back live today to Glacier Peak High School. It's the Glacier Peak Grizzlies and the Eastlake Wolves here, game 2 of a 4-game set in the top of the Peak tournament for 2019. And yesterday, probably in a surprise, Glacier Peak loses to Mount Spokane. Kent Ridge loses to, or Eastlake loses to Kent Ridge, and so it's Glacier Peak and Eastlake here in the losers bracket. Welcome back, Tom Lafferty, along with Edmonds Woodway head coach John Rasmussen. And Coach, if you look ahead, if you penciled out who was going to be here, you probably would have thought that Glacier Peak will play Eastlake in the championship game. It's not happening that way.
Well, there's a lot of good teams here, and you have to play full 32 minutes and maybe more. It just shows you the competition that's out here for these two to be in the losers bracket.
So Glacier Peak at number 32 in the RPI, that'll change, but Mount Spokane beat them yesterday 58-55 in a game where Glacier Peak was down by 19 points, right? You watched that game.
I watched that game. It was two different teams. Glacier Peak came out flat in the first half and fell down 19, battled back, actually took the lead, and then couldn't hold on, but it was quite the game.
And then for the Kent Ridge Chargers, beat Eastlake by the final score of 61-51, and interesting, Eastlake, the defending 4A state champion.
Yes, and Kent Ridge, though, won it, what, 2 years ago?
2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, so they beat Glacier Peak 2 or 3 years ago, I think it was. So, like I said, a lot of really good teams here in this tournament.
Eastlake won, as we mentioned, the 4A state championship, 53-47 over Lewis and Clark last year. Kent Ridge finished 3rd in 4A with a win over Bellarmine Prep. Glacier Peak finished 4th in 4A with a 58-53 win over Central Valley. You talk about the big teams in the 4A basketball.
Exactly, and Glacier Peak last year actually beat Lewis and Clark in this tournament for the championship.
Right.
So what a collection of some really good teams.
And they're introducing the starting lineups here, and we will give them to you as we go along. It is the officials, Jeff Weatherby, his 2nd game in a row. Chris Soterkopoulos and Chad Smith will be the officials. And for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies, being introduced to the last of the starters coming out there. Head coach Brian Hill coming in 2-0 in Wesco 4A, 4-2 overall. Eastlake Wolves 2-2 in the West, or in the Kinko 4A. They're 4-4 overall. So their coach Sarah Goldie, they're trying to just kind of work out the kinks from a state championship a year ago.
Sometimes it's tough to come back after you've had it. They've lost a few of their guards, so it's new players, new roles, and it takes a little ironing out of things sometimes.
And Brian Hill, as we mentioned, the head coach of the Glacier Peak Grizzlies, and we're set to go. We've done we've had the national anthem and the Pledge of Allegiance all done before the first game of the quadruple header, so we're ready to go. Eastlake and Glacier Peak set to play here in this 2nd game at the top of the Peak tournament.
Eastlake's got 2 big players. Their 2 captains, Burton and Heward, are both big, tall girls, and big scorers, 6'3" and 6'1". It will be interesting how Glacier Peak counters with that. They're a smaller team, but Glacier Peak will probably use their speed, and we'll see how it all turns out.
And Haley Heward is number 12. She'll be out there in the starting lineup. We talked before we went on the air about the first family of high school sports in the state of Washington. Well, you got Grandpa who coached Puyallup. You had the uncles that all, dad and uncles that all played quarterback, and then you've got cousin that's probably going to be the UW quarterback going to Kennedy Catholic.
Exactly.
And then you look to the left of us.
Who's to the left of us?
Is that Brock?
No.
No?
No, Brock Heward.
Okay, so
dad.
he looks just...
Brock Heward is dad, but that's not Brock Heward.
They would be down here to the right of us. They would be
Oh, they
sitting
would
in
be.
their
Yeah,
section.
yeah.
Right.
Well, that's
Not
where he
to-
was sitting yesterday.
All right.
Okay. And,
Sorry about that. I got all excited.
and Brock is in San Francisco because he's doing the Red Box Bowl on Monday night on Fox.
Exactly. And here's a quick fact about
Okay.
Heward is her mom actually played at Edmonds Woodway and is one of the leading scorers in the history of Edmonds Woodway. So, you know, boy, I wish they would have stayed in the Edmonds area and not gone to the east side myself.
Does she has no eligibility left?
No, no. Well, I'm thinking about her daughters.
I made you stand up anyway, Tom.
You did make me stand up. So here we go, back to the game. Still 0-0. We're 16 seconds in, and it'll be Heward who will indeed bring it out of backcourt. Now we'll talk basketball. After we got the first family of high school athletics out of the way, an outside three ball that will not go. That's a miss by Caitlin O'Brien. Battle for it on the floor. And on the alternating possession on the held ball, it will belong to Glacier Peak. Glacier Peak, who is really supposed to be the visitor in this game, but they're wearing the home uniforms. They're listed as the home team on the scoreboard. I think that's just to not drive you and me crazy, Coach.
Actually, last night they were the visiting
were they?
team,
Okay.
so it was a little something different.
So you wear the clean uniforms. And here's
Yes.
a runner up and good. It's good by Shaylin
Sandy.
with the bucket up, and the first lead of the ball game goes to Glacier Peak, up here by a 2-0 score. Heward with it out between the circles. Swing it past left side. Matsuaka.
It looks like Brian's implemented a kind of a trick defense on Burton down there. They're fronting her and got her on the backside too. So he's going to try to stop the big post for Eastlake.
But no one has been able to stop Glacier Peak offensively. Maya Erling with the bucket, and it's up and in, and it's a 4-0 lead. Glacier Peak out to the early lead here over Eastlake, the defending 4A state girls champion from the Tacoma Dome a year ago. Outside three ball, that's an air ball, too long, no good. Missed by O'Brien, and it'll be Glacier Peak basketball.
Watching the game, I think Brian's putting in an old Ken Roberts defense. He has Maya Erling guarding nobody and just staying in the key. So there's four girls playing man and one just staying in the middle of the key to stop Burton, it looks like.
To the baseline as they swing it around. Back out to the top of the key. Malia Smith to Collins. Down low and a travel. They got it inside to Madison Rubino, travel with the basketball. So explain that to defense again. We're going to see him here, so tell me what's happening.
Okay, if you watch, there's four girls going to be playing man, and number 35, Maya Erling, is guarding nobody. She's just in the middle of the key as a help defense, helping Rubino on Burton the post. Now she'll drop back in. She's pretty much letting 23 wide open. So,
and you'll just run that defense for a game like this where you've got
Yes.
somebody, one particular person you want to stop.
you're going to run it as long as it works in this game. When it stops working, again, now you watch Maya just staying right down in the middle of the key. So,
And she'll almost get run over there.
yes,
But that's her job, right?
Yes.
You stay here and get run over.
Maya's very athletic, and she's in there. So,
That outside three was no good by Heward. Ball went out of bounds. Fresh 30 on the shot clock, and actually it's going to be a foul here. Rubino will pick up the foul. That's her first personal. So Heward gets overplayed on the defense and pushed by Sandy.
Shaylin has drawn Heward and just pretty much total face guarding her, and will be very aggressive with her.
A 4-0 lead for Glacier Peak on their home floor in the top of the Peak tournament in the losers bracket game. Boy, up with the elbow, clearing out some space there. Here's a runner, no good. Nothing's gone down yet for Eastlake. And here comes quickly out of backcourt Glacier Peak. Collins, then an outside three, rattles low in the cylinder, and it won't go for Erling. Full court pressure by Glacier Peak as Eastlake now into front court. Eastlake in the...
Ooh, there's an offensive foul.
No, they're going to call a block.
Wow.
That's where you want that restricted area down
Yes.
underneath. Takes the guesswork out.
Looks like that'll be Sandy's second foul.
Okay, now that you've had a chance to digest it, was that a good call or you didn't like the call?
No comment.
There might be a little bit of hesitation to
That's
from yesterday.
Yes. Glacier Peak's dealing with some injuries. I know they lost one of their posts before the season even began, and they just lost another one of their reserve posts down in Vancouver. So they're thin at the post position this year. Now, they went from a strength to being a little thin. So
Glacier Peak ball up by 2, 4-2, 5:16 to go, opening quarter at Glacier Peak High School. Quickly down, stop, and pop from 14 feet away. It's up, and it is good for Elise Waldall. And the ball goes out of bounds. They say last touched. Glacier Peak's arguing. And now the officials are gonna meet up as well. Jeff Weatherby is gonna stick with his call. I don't think there's an overrule. Nope. Actually, I think that was a good call.
I do too. Again, they're fronting in backside help on Burton, so it makes it tough to get it into her. I think she was the state player of the game last year for 4A after they won the state championship.
Little spin move there, and a foul's going to be called. It's going to be a miss. And it'll be free throws coming up here for Emily. No, what are they going to call?
Intentional foul, I believe, on Heward.
Wow.
That's an intentional foul on number 12, Haley Heward, her first personal.
Now here's Coach John Rasmussen to explain that one to us.
It was off the ball and no one saw it. We'd have to do a replay on that to see it, but something happened out of the side. Only the referees caught it, but Elise Waldall's going to the line. It was some kind of flagrant foul of some sort.
And I think they clear the lane.
2 shots and the ball back.
Right, off the intentional foul on Heward.
Maybe it's because she got tired of somebody right in her face.
Yeah, it's. I'm going to guess it was maybe a frustration foul of some sort. But
first free throw up, and it is good. Elise Waldall at the free throw line. 4:55 to go, opening quarter. Opens it up now with the second one to a 6-point lead for the Grizzlies. And now it'll be basketball owned back at the point of interruption at the baseline, so it'll be Glacier Peak basketball. Glacier Peak on their home floor in their home uniforms in the white with very dark blue numbers and silver trim moving to our right.
Eastlake playing a 2-3 zone with Heward up top makes it tough to reverse pass it.
They swing it over the right side.
Eastlake has to watch 10 Smith for Glacier Peak. She's a great outside shooter.
And inside laying up and good by Madison Rubino. It's out to an 8-point lead for Glacier Peak. Eastlake yet to warm up here. They've scored 2 as we're coming up on the halfway mark of this first quarter. Dribble drive in with the left hand, it won't go. Another miss by Eastlake. Held ball, and it stays on this end, and it'll be Eastlake basketball. Wolves basketball out of the Kingco 4A, defending 4A state champion. Inbounds, a little quick offense, and that will work for Eastlake. Michaela Matsuoka. And it's a 6-point lead for Glacier Peak.
Nice out-of-bounds play for Eastlake there.
Down low, Glacier Peak goes. Everybody touches the ball as they swing it around the perimeter, looking for an open shot. 9 to shoot. Down low, Collins will give and go, but Collins can't make it go, and it never touched the rim. They didn't reset the clock. Now they do because Eastlake comes away with it. Eastlake may heat up with Heward. In rhythm, won't go.
Oh, never save it underneath your own basket.
Right into the hands of Eastlake, but now Glacier Peak will get it back. Up the floor they come. Little step through, move, and a lay-in. The bucket is good by Amaya Erling. That's a big league play right there.
That's a nice Euro step she just did there.
Oh, they're going to reset the shot clock. Okay, here's another chance you can do some teaching. Tell me about what's a Euro step.
You just saw it. It's a big hop step, jumping through and then going in for the lay-in. So
and it came from?
I would say Europe.
Nothing gets by you, Coach.
No, you know.
Here's a shot in the corner. That's a 3. It's up and good for Eastlake. You knew you couldn't sleep on him. Emily Holsand It was an 8-point lead. It's a 5-point lead now for Glacier Peak.
2-2-1 token press.
Well, the arm bar here. A push off. And they're going to whistle this one. Matsuoka, her first personal. Team fouls all even up at 3 apiece. 2:57 to go, opening quarter. Glacier Peak basketball. And Glacier Peak with the lead. And Collins with it. Out to Smith. To Waldall. Trying for a cross court. And picked off here by Eastlake. Wolves up the floor. Heward in the corner, looked at the three, didn't. Kicks it instead to a foul line jumper. Rims off, no good. That missed by O'Brien and cleared out by Glacier Peak. Grabbed by Rubino. Now to Collins. Over to the right side, Rubino again. That won't go.
O'Brien's going to get all the looks she wants today, and she's going to have to hit a few of those in order to get Glacier Peak out of this defense.
Almost picked off there, but Heward able to get it. As she dribbles and gives it off. The little runner from the foul line, too hard, no good by Holsan. Outlet, Collins has it. Glacier Peak goes in, lay-in no good, foul call. 2 shots coming up here. I think that's gonna is that gonna be on Heward? She's already walking toward the bench.
No, it's on 21.
21. Okay. It's going to be on Matsuoka.
Fouls on number 21, Matsuoka, her second personal, 14.
She picks up her second personal foul, and Aaliyah Collins at the free throw line. In a 5-point lead, 6-point lead with the first free throw good. That will bring a pair of substitutes off of each bench. And another one coming up here for Collins.
Both teams only have 4 subs on each bench, so they rely on their starters quite a bit.
And the next one is good. The double score at 14-7. First quarter with 1:45 to play. It's a nice play as they just worked it down to the left-hand side and goes in for the lay-in up and good by Ava Schmidt.
Great entry pass. Great entry pass on that.
And a turnover by Glacier Peak gives it right back to Eastlake. They'll inbound it underneath their own hoop.
What she do, step on the line?
I think she stepped on the line on the inbounds. As they work it down low. Oh, no, too hard. May have been partially deflected there. Outlet for Glacier Peak. Lay it up, no good, but free throws coming up here.
That's on Heward there. I think that's her second now.
Kaylin Allison. Heward picks up her second personal foul. Kaylin Allison will be at the free throw line for the Grizzlies.
As a coach, sometimes we want these players to defend but not make that foul, and fouls become very important to us. And we don't want to give up to, but don't foul. And that's a tough one. That's her second foul in the first quarter. So coach is talking to her, going to probably tell her what I just said.
So she will have a seat. Next one by Allison. She hits them both, and the lead is 7 at 16-9. 1:25 to play in the first quarter. Boy, wide open. I thought she was going to load for the three. Didn't. Dumps it instead off the window and in. Good for Burton. Keely Burton. 16-11 the score.
They need to keep doing that, pounding it inside.
Especially with Heward on the bench. Open look, 3 ball left corner, no good. A miss there by Allison. Clock wasn't moving, so they stopped play here. As a coach, I would think eventually the electronic stuff would just drive you berserk.
Yeah, but it's out of our control. What's when time stands still, isn't the saying?
But it's in your home gym. Run a wire up to it and turn it on and turn it off.
Maybe Brian has a secret button down there on his bench. I'm not sure. Might be something new since I've left
it. It was against him that time because they had a pretty good look to cycle the ball for a bucket.
Exactly.
17 to shoot.
Oh, good steal play.
No, it won't go. Miss underneath. It was a good idea. Maya Erling, though, with the miss. Couldn't get it to go.
Trap's coming with 2 very good trappers.
Who's got the ball? And Glacier Peak comes away with it. That's just standing your ground, right?
Yes.
And getting the basketball. Glacier Peak by 5. Turnaround up, rattles off, won't go. A miss on the turnaround by Erling. And controlled.
A little surprised they didn't play for one shot. 12 seconds left, so Eastlake can get the last shot now. Cut it to either 2 or 3 points.
It's 16-11 now. Checking in for Glacier Peak will be Sydney Hill.
Sound familiar, Tom?
It does.
It's Brian's daughter.
Yeah. Yep. It's Burton, backcourt. Now into front court they go. They work it to the left corner. Down to 5, down to 4. Out on top. Grabbed by Collins, 2-1. She'll lay it in. Will no. Little bit late. It would not count. And we will go to the second quarter. Our score, 16-11. Glacier Peak with the lead over Eastlake. Back with the second quarter right after this timeout.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
We're at Glacier Peak High School on a Saturday. What a way to spend a Saturday, Coach, to watch high school girls basketball.
Great games, too. Really good.
And the first game of the quadruple header here at STSPN, Meadowdale beat Lincoln 67-60. And this one is 16-11, 5-point lead for Glacier Peak. They have the basketball to start this quarter.
Eastlake staying in their 2-3 zone.
Eastlake, the defending 4A state champion. Collins lost the handle on it, but then went back and retrieved it. And now kind of the ball's knocked away. 1-on-3 break. I'm not sure that's going to work, but a turnaround too hard. No good. Miss there by Peyton Davidson. And it'll be turned back over to Glacier Peak. No, it's going to be a foul.
Foul on Eastlake.
And that'll be whistled. Emily Holson. Had some weird numbers up there for a minute. Holson picks up her second personal foul. 6th team foul. So one more puts Glacier Peak into the bonus the rest of the half. Grizzlies with it. Down low, laying up, good. Boy, Glacier Peak ran that to perfection for Elise Waldall with the bucket.
Nice entry pass there, too. It's kind of a lost trade, is feeding the post or feeding the post down low. Not many kids can do it. Some are, when you get one that can feed it, it's you really want to make men's do it.
Top of the key, 3 ball is good. Ava Schmidt. And it's a 4-point ball game, 18-14. Boy, that 3 just changes the complexion of the ball game. They'll try to answer with another one on the other end, and it will not go. And Burton grabs the rebound. So outside 3 ball was no good by Kaylin Allison.
There's a stat I'd love to track, and there's no way you can track it. But if you watch a game when a team hits a big 3 and the other team comes down and answers it with the same 3, I think sometimes teams relax, and it gets answered back.
Yep. You can do that. You just got to go through a lot of film.
Yeah.
That's somebody with way more time than I've got to spend doing that.
I get pretty excited if we hit a big 3. I start yelling defense real quick because I don't want to be part of that stat. So.
Here comes 3 subs for Brian Hill and the Glacier Peak Grizzlies.
All starters coming back in.
And they're going to whistle this one on Davidson. And Davidson will pick up the foul, her second personal foul. 7 team fouls, so 1 and 1. So into the bonus goes Glacier Peak and Leah Collins at the free throw line.
So, Tom, I'm the coach, but how long do you leave Heward on the bench? That's why I get paid the big bucks, right?
Yeah, that's right. Well, it's 5 points now. If it gets to double figures, you pull her off.
I would, yeah. I trust her that she's not going to make a third foul. You don't want it to get out of hand in the first half. So.
Right. So maybe wait till the 4-minute mark.
Probably somewhere in there.
You're shaking the dice.
Yes.
You're living on the edge in Las Vegas. Outside three that won't go for Eastlake. Collins, boy, she's flat
fast.
outruns everybody.
She's a great athlete. She plays soccer. She's a track specialist, sprinter, and wow.
Yeah, just that play, you could see it. They were about even at about the G of Grizzlies, and then
Yes.
she won that one by about 3 or 4 yards.
Wasn't even close.
No, and here she comes again. She's going to be fed the ball. What we talked about in the first game, you can feed that
Yes.
feeding forward because she's going to go and get it.
Correct. Well, here comes Heward back. 10 points. You called it.
It is 24-14. As Eastlake will work it.
Again, they're leaving 23 wide open.
And
Caitlin O'Brien, that's a tough one, because you need the confidence, and if she hits one, she'll get confidence.
Fouls on number 20.
well, that also then when you, as Brian Hill, you leave her open, then she hits one, and you think, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And then it's 2, and then it's a couple of free throws, and pretty soon, right?
Yes, exactly. It's that dice game. You got to roll those dice.
So pretty much coaching is nothing but gambles.
Sure.
in the legal sense of gambling.
Exactly. No Pete Rose in this gym.
No. Well, Sarah Goldie's gambling now that Heward is not going to pick up a third personal foul.
Exactly. And you're going to need to put them in a place where they hopefully don't get it. They'll be in their 2-3, and, she'll play smart, not reach, hopefully.
Just shot in the corner 3. That's a big 3 in the corner right there, up and good. Malia Smith makes it a 12-point ball game. That is Glacier Peak's biggest lead of the game, up by a dozen. Eastlake has not had the lead in the game. They tried to feed it in, couldn't do it. There's Heward to flag it down. They'll re-rack the offense with 10 seconds to shoot. Pretty good defense right in her grill as they work around. And there's Collins with those quick hands, but the ball went out of bounds.
Clock reset. I don't know if she
shouldn't-
had it long enough.
I think they're going to
would
talk
argue
about
that
it.
one.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to put it. It should be. I'm guessing 4.
Yeah.
Oh, they can put it at 5. Okay. Tick, 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 tick down to 5. 4. Oh, no, they did 4. Oh.
You're good.
That's a gamble too. Going to even be right on things. So down to 3, down to 2. Little runner, no.
No foul. Coaches are looking for a foul on that shot.
It hit the rim. Probably they could have let it go, but by that time it's too late. So
Yeah.
give it over to Glacier Peak. Leading by 12, 27-15, 4:44 to play. Outside shot that won't go, missed by Smith. Grabbed by Heward for Eastlake. Wolves out of backcourt, down by a dozen. Now they'll work it. Good screen set by Burton. Right back to Burton, and the lay-in is up and good. Hard to stop her.
Coach Goldie's looking for a foul on that, but didn't get it.
Got the bucket instead, and it's a 10-point lead for Glacier Peak on their home floor. To Collins baseline. Back out for a 3. Bang! Down it goes. Malia Smith. I guess G Money is Malia Smith. Okay. Back to a 10-point lead, 27-17. That's Heward
Look
dribbling.
how far they've brought Burton out, just working her and working her. I'd love to have her 25 feet away from the basket.
Ooh,
Big three.
Big three out there.
Coach Goldie trying to get a timeout, couldn't get it. Look what happened.
And the quick lay-in on the other end is up, and it is good by Rubino. Yeah, she wanted the timeout there.
She did. Referees didn't see it.
That's when you got to be screaming. Way outside for a three ball from Burton. No. And foul called on the rebound. And I think Ava Schmidt is not going to be at the free throw line yet. That'll be just the fifth team foul. First personal foul on Smith. The lead is 12, 32-20. Fresh 30 on the shot clock, and Eastlake inbounds. Haley Heward wide open.
And way downtown.
And won't go.
Glacier Peak holding on the rebound, hooking.
So Glacier Peak now picks up their sixth team foul. And it's whistled on Grace Godinez, picks up the foul. And inbounds again for Eastlake. Heward.
Look at that.
Burton, yep.
She's like a sandwich down there.
Yeah, defender in front and behind. Collins back out. And a push foul is going to be called.
1-1.
And Burton picks up the foul. That's just her first personal foul. Free throw, no good. Lead remains at 12. Ooh. Boy, there was an argument for a push there. One of the fans in front of us is doing this, giving the old push sign. Here's a three ball, rims out, tough luck shot, won't go. That's
wow.
Heward had
it, yeah.
Now again, you feed down to Collins for the lay-in. It's up and good. She just breaks away and heads down the floor.
Blink of an eye, she's gone.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take a break. 2:36 to go in the first half. The lead is 14. Biggest lead of the game for Glacier Peak. Back with more after this.
McDaniel's Do-It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
And welcome back here, live to Glacier Peak High School, the top of the peak tournament for 2019. Game 2 of the 4-game set. And it's a 34-20 lead for Glacier Peak on their home floor against the Eastlake Wolves, the defending 4A state girls champion. Boy, almost a trip call could have been called there. 2:22 to go in the first half. Heward dumps it down low. The lay it up, good, and one coming up here for Eastlake. Got it to Ava Schmidt. Nice pass by Heward to find Schmidt.
Another nice entry pass. I mean, I don't know what the coaches are doing and teaching. I might have to go watch one of their practices and get some tips from them because I've seen a lot of good entry passes to the post.
You know, that trip call, the ref didn't have his whistle in his mouth, and I saw him trying to get it in there. He couldn't get it in.
And then by then it's just, oh, the heck with it.
Yep, that's right.
So they've corrected the scoreboard. They hadn't given the bucket yet, but now it's 12 points. Could be 11 with a free throw. It is not.
Should be 11 and a half. That was halfway down.
Halfway down and kicked back out. Here's Collins. Holy smokes. Collins just stepped through and said, excuse me, ladies.
You know, she is actually right-handed, but she attacks to her left side better than her right side.
Here's a little, that's not a bad move either on the other end for Eastlake's Michaela Matsuoka. Back to a 12-point lead. Minute 50 to go in the half. Spin, thought better of it, goes back out for an outside two ball that won't go. A miss there by Madison Rubino and controlled by Eastlake. Wolves with it. And the ball went out of bounds. Last touch by Glacier Peak. Eastlake keeps it with 21 on the shot clock.
I don't think Burton's been out all quarter or half.
No, she's been in there. Looking.
Oh.
Ooh. Yeah. Overplay on the defense there. Maya Erling will be called for the foul.
Foul on number 35, Maya Erling, first personal, 18 foul.
And she picks up her first personal foul. Team fouls all even up at 8 apiece. And it'll be Ava Schmidt at the free throw line for Eastlake. Eastlake 4-4 on the season, 2-2 in Kinko 4A play. Glacier Peak 4-2 on the season, 2-0 in Wesco 4A play. First free throw good.
Again, I think Eastlake wants to cut it to single digits, hopefully by half. That would be a coach's dream, and we'll see how that works out.
This one could make it 10. It does not. And the rebound controlled by Glacier Peak. Rubino outlet up the floor to Waldall. Back to Rubino. Down the corner they go. Dribble drive and then way back out. They're going to call over and back. I'm not sure the rationale, thinking but it wasn't going to go that far maybe from the baseline. It was closed off.
What a quite an athletic move. She threw that left-handed all the way to half court. That's Maya showed quite some athleticism on that. Oh.
Inbounds now. Oh, lost the handle momentarily, then double teamed and fouled.
As a coach, those fouls drive us crazy because, we had a good trap. There was a good trap right there, and then you put her on the line with a silly reach.
So the lead is 11. A couple of shots coming up here. You're 1-1. So here's Caitlin O'Brien at the free throw line. Nope, missed the front end of it. Burton grabs the rebound, back up off the window, won't go. Still a scrap for it. It's going to be controlled then again by Eastlake. Back out for a three ball that won't go. Another reload here by the Wolves. Davidson grabs the rebound, but that's going to be taken away. And there's Collins.
How many times have we seen that?
Wow. That's at least 3 that I can think of. She just releases. She knows when okay, it's going to be our ball. See ya.
And they look for her as she takes off.
Burton. No. But again, a reload by Eastlake. 35 seconds to go. Burton again off the glass, too hard. I thought maybe she got fouled. And the rebound is going to be controlled by the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. They can play for one shot. As Collins will bring it out of backcourt. Calling the play. Down to 16 to go. In the corner, now down low, off the glass, no, foul called. Is that going to be on Burton?
I believe so.
Yep.
She's going to get her first rest of the half, I think.
She fouled out last night.
She did.
It's only her second here.
Both Heward and Burton with 2 fouls in the first half, some foul trouble.
So she will go to the bench the final 10 seconds. Just so you don't want to pick up that one more.
Wrong place, wrong time. She could get a silly foul there.
Rubino next free throw too hard. Controlled by Eastlake. Here they come, down to 6, down to 5. Into front court, trying to feed it down low. Off the glass too hard. A little push and shove, and another push and shove, and nothing came of it.
Physical.
A very physical ball game, and it's a 14-point lead for Glacier Peak. 39-25. They've equals their biggest lead of the afternoon. We'll come back. Second half coming up here. Again, our score at the half. The Glacier Peak Grizzlies 39 and the Eastlake Wolves 25. Back with more after this timeout on STSPN.com.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
McDaniel's Do-It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
Since 2003, Gamut 360 Holdings has been recognized as a premier local builder of new homes and commercial properties in the Puget Sound area. Our 360-degree construction approach matches first-class materials with the highest construction standards to create truly unique and timeless communities for our Northwest neighborhoods. Visit Gamut360.com and discover the home that matters most to you.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, trying to get down. It's like a loop machine.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
And welcome back to Glacier Peak High School, the Top of the Peak tournament. John Rasmussen, head coach of the Edmonds Woodway Warriors here, Tom Lafferty. And, Coach, I can't imagine being in a number 10 Jimmy Garoppolo jersey is the thing to do on this Saturday night before tomorrow night's game.
That's a tough one. I know who that is. I'm not going to comment. I don't want to give any hate mail out there, but that's a tough one to do.
Well, and Joey Bosa sitting next to him.
Exactly.
So that is tomorrow night. Today, we've got the second half about to get underway, and it's 67-60. Oh, excuse me. It is 39-25. 67-60 was the first game, Meadowdale and Lincoln. That'd really be something in the first half.
That would be a heck of a first half. Loyola Marymount.
Yeah. So here we go. Glacier Peak with the basketball. We're starting the second half here in their home tournament, but they're in the losers bracket after a loss last night in the opening round of the tournament here. Glacier Peak in the home white uniforms working the ball down to 10 to shoot, and outside the shot on the way, and it's going to be no good by Malia Smith. Back up. It won't go either. So the miss on the second on the putback was by Rubino, and here comes Eastlake down by 14. You get the feeling that they can have a run, but here's Aaliyah Collins going in for the steal and the lay-in up and good. Well, maybe they can't, but it's 16 points now, biggest lead.
I feel like it's Groundhog's Day with her keep going in for lay-ins like that.
Well, she's a game changer.
Yes, she is.
And she changes the game from up by 10 to up by 18. Here's a runner by Heward, won't go. Burton can't hold on to it, but back up by her teammate, picked it up and put it back up and in by Caitlin O'Brien. Caitlin O'Brien with the bucket. A minute 10 into the third quarter, and the lead is 16 points for the GP, and they've got the basketball. Step through move. Getting her own rebound there was Erling. Back out, Collins. Erling again off the glass and in. Nice ball movement there.
Eastlake looks like they're just a step slow, It's just a half a step. They're not winning the 50-50 balls, and Glacier Peak's getting a lot of second chances.
It's Keely Burton. Looking for Heward. There you go, just exactly what you said. Can't quite catch up with the errant pass, and I think Coach Sarah Goldie has seen what you saw and said, you know what, let's talk about this, see if we can regroup here. And we'll also mention after the timeouts call, we'll keep it right here. Both teams going with a very short bench. They don't have a lot of players called up.
Correct.
So, talk about have you done that where you've got a lot of bench or maybe a short bench because you'd rather have them getting playing time at the JV level? Or
right now I'm carrying 10 kids, and I'm going to carry kids that will play. You want to give them experience, but you don't want them sitting there wasting their life on the end of your bench. So, we do a lot of swing players, and you need them on the court and to get better. You just don't want them sitting there. So, Brian's got 4 girls that he can put in, and he played all 4 of them in the first half. He played all 9 girls.
So back to action here. Glacier Peak with the basketball. They lead it by 16 points with 6:10 to go in the third quarter.
Looks like Eastlake's gone into a 1-3-1, something different, trying to just change the momentum.
Swing it down low, and then it's going to swing around. It's going to be stolen away by Keely Burton. That's Heward with it to the baseline. Nicely closed off there by Collins. Back out for an open 3 look that won't go. A miss there by Holson, and controlled, trapped in backcourt. The ball went out of bounds. Last touch by Eastlake, so it'll be Glacier Peak basketball. 5:41 to go in the third. And the lead is 16 points. The Grizzlies losers last night to Mount Spokane, 58-55. So that puts them into the losers bracket. Mount Spokane will play Kent Ridge at 6:15 tonight. Curtis will take on Beamer at 4:30. Mike Buchholz will bring you those games right here on STSPN.com. Coach has entered the building. Down low, no, Collins can't get it. They're going to play on,
wow.
And then the ball went out of bounds. Boy, collisions all over the
getting physical. Plays away from the ball.
So Heward will throw it in, 27 seconds to shoot. The lead is 16 points.
Heward's having to work awful hard just to get the ball.
Yep. Down to Burton. Boy, they just won't go. Back up, no good by Heward. Heward's all over the floor. And they're going to call her for the foul.
Wow.
Off the push-off, trying to grab the miss. That's going to be her third personal foul with 5 minutes to play in the third quarter.
Got to keep her in there. You're down 16.
Yeah, you don't. Sarah Goldie doesn't have a choice.
Nope.
And Glacier Peak just has been getting everything. Collins, swing a pass. Again. As they work it over to the left-hand side. And that's going to be a runner that goes for Erling, but they're going to say it's going to, I think the foul happened before the shot went up. And it will be called on Caitlin O'Brien. So baseline out of bounds. Collins will throw it in.
Heward's got to be careful out there not to pick up a fourth.
Collins looking, Rubino will save it. Back to Collins again. Kind of passed it to herself, and then Burton just picks it up and says, yeah, I'll take it. Outlet up the floor. Here comes Eastlake. Down by 16 points. We're approaching halfway through the third quarter.
Looked like a hold on Glacier Peak.
Yep, they will call the hand check foul on Malia Smith. That's her third personal foul. Just Glacier Peak's first team foul. And here's a grab up the floor. Glacier Peak take it right away and put it up and in and makes it an 18-point lead. Biggest lead of the game for Glacier Peak. Eastlake, the defending 4A state champion.
Both these teams not used to losing, so, you know, they really are playing for something tonight.
The spin up by Burton. Now I've got battling coaches over on one side and the other side. Go up with it. Go up with it.
Oh. Heward with an open jumper.
And that looks nice. It's up and in. Haley Heward with the bucket. And it's an 18-point lead.
Her easiest shot of the night, but she's had to work for everything besides that one.
So Glacier Peak, they can just afford to kind of relax with it a little bit here because Eastlake has not shown an ability to come back so far. Play for the open shot. That open shot won't go, though. A miss by Malia Smith and controlled by the Wolves. Up the floor, open, but no shot. They find Burton laying up
block.
Good. They're going to call an offensive charging foul.
That's a game changer right there. Wow.
Huh. So you're voting thumbs down on the call?
I would have to say so. I didn't think that Glacier Peak was set. It was close, though.
Coach Buckholz, thumbs up or thumbs down on the call? Depends on whether it's on offense or defense. She was under there.
They need that circle they have in college.
That's right, the restricted area. Here's a runner.
Oh, that could be Burton's fourth.
Well, she swatted at it. That's the call there. It's just tough that it came on the heels of the one on this end. Yep, Burton will pick up her fourth personal foul. Now you got to pull her, right?
Yeah. But you don't have to save her long. Maybe the start of the fourth. It's a tough one.
It's a 16-point lead. It's a 17-point lead with that free throw. So Burton will have to have a seat. And Allison will check in for Glacier Peak. Caitlin O'Brien checks in for Eastlake. Next one, good. 47-29. Biggest lead of the afternoon for Glacier Peak. So Lincoln will play the winner of this game on Monday at 11:45 in the morning.
It's kind of an interesting take. I'm thinking of Mount Spokane came over here. They spend today or tomorrow over here with, team bonding or what. It's kind of a long trip, and have to take an extra day because games can't be played on Sunday. So.
Right. Run there by Collins won't go. Cleared out by Eastlake. But as a coach, you'd find something to do, right?
Oh, yeah. I guarantee you, I bet you they'll be in the movie theater. We'll have to see. But there's not a lot you can do. You want them to rest, but have fun and enjoy teammates. Tough shot by Heward.
Yeah, it won't go. But you'd also make sure that whatever happened tomorrow at 5:25, you're sitting in front of a TV, right?
Exactly. I think they're the only ones, Mount Spokane, that probably stayed here this year. Beamer would go home. Lincoln will go home.
Right.
Kent Ridge, Eastlake. So last year there was Chiawana in this.
Right.
WF West. Teams had come a little farther, and Lewis and Clark. So this year Mount Spokane wins the most mileage award to get to this tournament.
Right. Lincoln may have stayed up last night.
Possibly. Having to play today at 1.
But you'll go home, and come back up on the Monday then. 2:06 to go, third quarter. The lead is 15 points.
Heward has a nice looking shot, boy. Coach's dream on that shot. Pretty for him, soft touch.
Here's Glacier Peak with it, Leah Collins. Just standing out, can take some time. Now she just finds a street right down the gut and comes away with nothing on that one. And cleared out by Eastlake. Finding Heward. Goes in, puts it up, a little runner that won't go. Collins grabs a rebound, looking forward, and then stepping in front of her. And they're going to call the foul. It's going to be on Caitlin O'Brien.
You wonder, did she foul on purpose on that? But she did. She did go for the ball and stop the fast break. But it almost looked like it was intentional. But it was a good play on her part.
Well, it's that fine line when they went to the intentional foul.
Yes.
Well, intentional, okay, because at the end of games you're intentionally fouling anyway.
Yes.
Flagrant is really probably more the
correct,
the accurate term.
When I get late in the games, if I'm going to foul, I'll go to the refs and actually tell them we're looking for a quick foul. So please call it because I don't want a girl to get hurt in any way.
Right.
And then we almost steal it, and they call the foul, and I'm saying, why did I say that?
I should just get my big mouth shut,
yes.
right? Couple of opportunities here, and then, well, that's a wrestling takedown there. Well, she wouldn't let go of the basketball. And I think they just called the jump ball, right? And now,
okay, watch Erling coming down on this one. I think this one might be called fist. We'll see. She's going to cut hard down the middle. If it's a play, I think it is.
Jeff Weatherby talking with them. Okay, a timeout called. We'll step aside with 1:34 to go in the third quarter. 47-33, Glacier Peak with the lead. Back with more from Glacier Peak High School right after this timeout.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
Welcome back to Glacier Peak High School. We're talking about Lake Stevens' new gym. They opened up a new gym, and Coach, they did it right. The main thing they did, light-colored floor, light-colored bleachers, and really bright lights.
Yes, it's a fun shooting gym. Heck, my team, I think we hit 12 threes in there, so maybe I could make more home games in that gym for ourselves. So.
Did you get the Vikings?
No, we went overtime and they got us. So
the brand new gym at Lake Stevens High School. Ball goes out of bounds. I think that's the right call.
Yes.
Jeff Weatherby makes that call. It'll be Eastlake basketball. Down by 14 points with a minute and a half to play in the third quarter.
Again, Eastlake's trying to cut it down to single digits.
But
Heward posting hard there. Couldn't get it.
Down low, laying up, and one coming up. Ava Schmidt got it. Put it up, put it in, got fouled. So what was a 14-point lead is now a 12-point lead. Schmidt will be at the line.
6-foot freshman. Nice move by the freshman. Lefty.
Free throw, perfect. So they close the gap a little bit, down to 11 points. It's a nice run there, but they couldn't complete it. It was a nice pass by Collins, but the lay-in was no good by Erling and controlled by Eastlake, and Wolves with it. We're coming up on a minute to play in the third quarter. Davidson. Now to Matsuoka.
Erling is just all over the court for Glacier Peak, you know? You think there's 3 of them out there the way she plays.
Yep. They're going to call a foul here.
A legal screen. Trying to get Heward open.
So that'll be right back over to Glacier Peak.
Why is that illegal to get Heward open?
They're trying anything and not too successful.
Collins brings it up. 43 seconds to go in the quarter. Collins again. 15 to shoot. Long cross-court pass. Over to Allison. That won't go. Heward grabs the rebound for Eastlake. Shot clock is dead. She realizes that fact. She'll back away a little bit, trying to dump it down low. She does. The lay-in is up, and it is good by Ava Schmidt. And it's a 9-point ball game, 47-38. So they cut that 18-point lead in half.
Oh.
But Collins is right there. Collins was right there, but that was nice that Maya Erling saw her.
It was. Kind of a backbreaker after coming back, cutting it single digits, but.
Back to double digits now at the end of the third quarter. Our score 49-38 with Glacier Peak leading Eastlake. Back with the fourth quarter right after this.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200+ national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
Since 2003, Gamut 360 Holdings has been recognized as a premier local builder of new homes and commercial properties in the Puget Sound area. Our 360-degree construction approach matches first-class materials with the highest construction standards to create truly unique and timeless communities for our Northwest neighborhoods. Visit Gamut360.com and discover the home that matters most to you.
Welcome back. Mike Buckholz is to our right. He'll be carrying the weight in the last 2 games of the day. Tom Lafferty here, along with Coach John Rasmussen of Edmonds Woodway. They're comparing notes and coaching from the old days.
From the way back.
From the way back machine. It was the last century, by the way.
I think the peach basket might have still been in there when we started. So,
underway, fourth quarter. The lead is 11 points. Haley Heward with the basketball. Johnson still on the bench, or Burton still on the bench. Runner. Ooh, that's going to be a foul. It's be a hold on Glacier Peak, but before the shot, that's only their 4th team foul.
On Shea Sandy, I think it's her 3rd.
Her 3rd personal.
Oh, here comes America's play. They want to get Heward the ball in the corner, but didn't get it.
Nope. There's Collins again. The lay-in good.
Groundhog's Day.
Collins lay-in good. Is lay-in 2 words? So that'd be the most used 4 words this afternoon in the gym. Traveling.
Here comes Burton back. I think it's a good move. You're down 13. You got to make a move. You can't wait too long. So.
So Caitlin O'Brien also checks in. So Glacier Peak basketball, 7:13 to go in the game. The lead is 13 points. Collins easily splits that defense.
I think Schmidt, the freshman, gave him good minutes there while Burton was out.
Swing it over left-hand side. Smith back out the goal. 16 to shoot.
You know, sometimes you can get out of sync if you try to get a 5th foul on somebody. You work too hard to get in the foul and you don't execute. So we'll see how Glacier Peak does this, if they try to get a foul on Burton or how it works out.
Down to 3, down to 2, reverse lay-in. They used all the clock, but it doesn't go. And the ball goes out of bounds. Ooh, I thought maybe Burton was the last to touch it, but instead it'll be given over to Eastlake. 6:40 to go, and the lead is 13.
Full court pressure coming by Glacier Peak.
See if Eastlake has one last run left in him here in this 4th quarter. Up with the elbow, and there's a steal. Taken away. Erling. Dish it down low. Stop. Pop. It's in by Rubino. That might be that. 15 points and a collision. Blocking foul is going to be called. Collision right in front of the official there. Well, they're playing for keeps out there.
Yes, they are. And again, Maya all over the court, you know. I swear there's 3 of her out there.
Yeah.
But no free throws, only the 5th foul.
And as we had in our first game with Meadowdale and Lincoln, this could be the portent of something that could happen, especially in the district tournament now with the West King tournament.
Yes, definitely. These teams will probably see each other again.
As they did last year in the district tournament as well. Glacier Peak got the win. No.
Yes, they did. It was a 1-point game, I think, wasn't it?
Yep, that's right. But Eastlake got the last laugh, and they finished with the big trophy with the big basketball on top down at Tacoma. Glacier Peak 4th in the state a year ago. Emily Holson will pick up the foul for Eastlake. That's her first personal foul. 8th team foul. And we're at 1-1. And we'll have free throws on the other end. 6 minutes to play. And the lead is 15 points. And Aaliyah Collins at the free throw line. And a timeout called here by Eastlake. We'll step aside. 6 minutes to play. 15-point lead for Glacier Peak. This is the Top of the Peak tournament on STSPN.com. We've been taking a look at the RPI. In fact, talking about this tournament, really, which is invented because of RPI. Isn't that right, Coach?
Correct. You want to get some key wins in here, and then hopefully when it gets to the state playoffs, you get a home game and whatnot. I know Glacier Peak won this last year and beat 3 very tough teams, and it got their RPI way up there. I think they ended up 5th in the state last year, you know, and you want to be in the top 4, you're guaranteed a home game, or the top 8 at least you get in there, excuse me, on that one.
55-38, the lead is 17 points. So coming into this game in the Class 4A, which is what we're watching here between Eastlake and Glacier Peak, Woodinville number 1, Lake Stevens number 2 in the RPI. Kent Ridge, Inglemore, Moses Lake the top 5. Then 6 is Chiawana, Union 7, Beamer 8, Tahoma 9, and Rogers of Puyallup at number 10. Foul called. Girls 3A RPI. Eastside Catholic on top. Shorecrest Scots number 2. They're
Yeah.
pretty good.
They're surprisingly good. They've won some really good games this year, and they upset. Well, I won't say upset. They beat Arlington, so that knocks their RPI way up there.
Kennewick number 3, Bethel. Number 5 is Mount Spokane. 6, Franklin, Wilson, Kelso. Arlington at number 9. Number 10, Bishop Blanchette. We were watching the Golf Channel Notables. Coach, you'd be in Notables at 32.
Yeah, we won't mention where I'm at right now, but we're coming up by stalking us, I guess.
And Snohomish at number 36. So, but like we talked about in the first game, tough scheduling, and now you'll start making your way back right when you start playing league games.
Exactly. If you look at the 3A, which is deceiving, is there's no Garfield in there, and they're one of the top teams, but they went and played out-of-state tournament. They were going to be in this tournament. They lost all 4 out of state, so they're 5-4 right now. So one of the toughest teams in state is not even ranked. So it will all even its way out in the long run, but you know.
And we had talked with Coach Brian Hill of the Glacier Peak Grizzlies, who, by the way, called a timeout here. We talked with him on our Thursday show about RPI, and he says you schedule these games here because in league play, and he said league play is what it is.
Yes.
It is what it is. And especially in the Wesco 4A, there are some weak teams.
Yes, there is, and it doesn't help them in the long run. So he needs to go out and find good games. The 3A, we're a little stronger overall with the RPI, so we don't have to do it quite as much. But the 4A's got a real fluctuation from the top to the bottom. So he needs to go find the top games, playing Mount Spokane last night, now Eastlake. So he's trying to build his RPI through his non-league schedule.
Well, plus both Snohomish and Glacier Peak traveled down to play Prairie and Union, too. That helps your RPI.
Exactly.
Maybe it doesn't help it if you lose.
No, it doesn't. Again, Glacier Peak coming out with pressure, up 15, but not comfortable yet.
Talk about in the Wesco 3A, it's different, too, because you have the one time through the league, right, and not get to see somebody 2 times.
Exactly. It's a tough thing. I mean, you can pull an upset, and you may only see them again in the district playoffs. We don't have, with so many teams, we only play them once. So it's kind of a neat thing, but it's a sad thing, too.
That's Burton with the bucket. It's a 13-point lead, 4:49. Still some basketball to play, but there's Collins again to get him out of trouble. Down low, up off the glass, too hard, no good by Erling. And a foul called.
A late whistle on that one.
Very late. And they will get Michaela Matsuoka with the foul. That's her 3rd personal foul. And the lead is 13 points, and free throw coming up here for Maya Erling. Swish goes the first one. And she will get another. Makes it 14. 15. As that goes down. 57-42.
Oh, nice sideline fast break ran by Eastlake right there to get the lay-in. It's crazy.
Oh, inadvertent whistle. As coach looked over, saw the coach, or the official looked over, Jeff Weatherby, saw the coach up there with her hands up. She was just calling it defense, right?
Yes.
So he called the timeout, so that stops things. So, now we will have a foul. That'll stop the clock, too, with a foul and Collins on the deck.
Looked like a pretty good trap, but, just a little hip check. That's Coach Sarah Goldie describing the hip check, and that's why she got it. Good hockey move, bad basketball move.
Right. So be Collins at the free throw line. The foul on Holson, her first. And the 10th team foul, so we're in the double bonus now. Glacier Peak will shoot 2 the rest of the way. First one no good.
See if they run this sideline break again out of a free throw.
Worked perfectly last time.
Yes, it did.
It's good.
Here it comes up the side again.
Worked perfectly that time, too.
And a foul.
With a foul called. Thought that was maybe Leigh Holson with the bucket.
I think it's on Erling.
Yes, it is. And so they count the bucket, and the foul is called, and that puts him at the free throw line.
For third personal, 17 foul.
So that'll put right there Holson with the 1-and-1. So after the bucket went in, the free throw won't go. So it's a 12-point lead, but Eastlake grabs the rebound. Looking
Going
for
inside.
Burton up. No good. Free throw's coming up.
Coaches, we hate to see that dribble when it goes down. Those little guards will grab that, but she was strong enough to hold it and go up and draw the foul.
Sandy, her fourth personal, 17 foul.
And so it'll be Sandy with the foul. It's Burton at the free throw line and clunks the first one. No good. And she'll get another.
That's last two free throws they've missed, and that's crucial when the game's close. Last three now.
Yep, missed them.
Oh, knock away.
And it's going to be
ball.
a jump ball, and alternating possession, it goes to Glacier Peak. And my Erling's complaining, and then she's, oh, it's our ball. Okay, never mind. What I said, never mind. Inbounds here for Glacier Peak. Up by 12.
Quick trap.
Good defense. Somebody's got to be open. They had
four girls right there.
Quadruple coverage. And a foul will be called. It's pick your who's got the foul. It's going to be on Heward.
Oh, fourth.
That's her fourth.
Burton and Heward both with 4 now.
4:05 to play. The lead is 12.
Maya has 4 too.
Maya does too.
So here's free throws for Glacier Peak. First one is no good. Boy, suddenly everybody's gotten cold from the free throw line. Sandy will get another.
I think Sandy's got 4 too.
Yeah, I think she does also.
Good. 13 points.
Sideline fast break again.
Now they work it to the inside. Foul.
Aaliyah Collins, I think, with the hold.
Yeah, trying to prevent that player to go out and get the basketball.
Holson shooting, isn't she?
Yep. Yep. Emily Holson, the junior, 5'6", at the stripe, 1-and-1. That one's good.
You know, my teams, I never really had a team that could shoot 70% for a season. And last year my team made it. They shot like 72%. So it sounds easy, but it's not once you're playing the games, because it just takes 1 or 2 kids that don't shoot as well. It brings the team average down. So
they got both of those. So the lead is 11, 59-48. Inside 4 minutes to go. Down for some early offense. Lay-in is good by Rubino.
Yeah, what do they say if they're all crowded down here on press? Somebody's got to be open.
yes.
Somebody's open.
Well, when they break that trap, then they get through quick. So. Oh, Heward open for the 3. No one saw her.
Didn't see her. That's closed off. Here's Burton. Runs in. Body's on the deck. Offensive foul. She's done. She goes hard to the ground, but they're going to call her for the foul, and she will be done for the afternoon.
Yeah.
They're deciding who to put in. Only 4 on the bench, so it's a pretty easy call. And Keely Burton will sit down, and checking in for Eastlake is Ava Schmidt. And Erling will throw it in. 3:30 to play. And Collins
is tough to trap with her speed.
Yeah, you can't get there before she's already gone.
She can make you look silly real fast.
And she'll just dribble it out there, and they can use a lot of time. Up by 13 points. As they'll work the perimeter. 10 to shoot. Now to Erling underneath. A blocking foul called. So they'll call the foul, and that will put free throws coming up here for Erling again. And Caitlin O'Brien picks up her 4th personal foul.
Well, these fouls really slow it down, don't it?
First free throw good. The lead is 14 points, 62-48.
I think the refs might have to go to a whistle sale because they're wearing theirs out.
That's right.
They may need a second one.
Next one good. And here comes Eastlake.
Down 15, they got one more chance for a run, but it's going to be tough with Burton on the bench.
Now inside 3 minutes to go. Still working a lot of time. You can't take this much time if you're Eastlake.
Running
Heward, and then lose the handle on the basketball.
Yeah.
And now they'll just, Glacier Peak will slow things down.
Heward's arms are so long. She can get those in there. It's amazing.
She could be on the UW men's basketball team with their wingspans.
That's right. That's right. That's Collins working the basketball. Now to 6 seconds to shoot.
Oops.
Looking for Erling. Ball went out of bounds, but almost more importantly, they used about 27 seconds there.
Yes. Sometimes you'll take a turnover on something like that.
Because they're running out of time. Coming up on 2 minutes to play in the game. Overplay on the defense there, but they couldn't get the basketball was Rubino. And a double dribble.
Eastlake's trying to run a flex offense, and Glacier Peak's making it tough on them. So.
And we're going to have a timeout called on the floor. Full timeout called there by Eastlake's Sarah Goldie. We can start to talk about our choice for player of the game. Who are you thinking?
You know, I think it's Groundhog's Day and seeing Aaliyah Collins going like full court length to length. She would be my vote, but
Yep.
you know, there's a lot of other good players out there too.
Nope, I think that's the way to go. Thanks again to our presenting sponsors, Speedway Chevrolet in Monroe. Proud sponsor of Live RC Sports since 2015. Fred's Rivertown Ale House, McDaniel's Do It Center, GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, by Adrenaline Fundraising and Gene Johnson Plumbing, and Gamut 360 Home Builder, our presenting sponsors here on STSPN.com. Still 2 more games coming up this afternoon. Coach Mike Buckholz will take you the rest of the way in the championship side of the bracket. Coach, you and I got the losers bracket.
Not a bad losers bracket,
That's
though.
pretty good losers bracket. Curtis and Beamer coming up at 4:30, the scheduled start time. Mount Spokane and Kentridge coming up at 6:15. Here we go. Back to action. Eastlake with the basketball. Inside 2 minutes now to play. Down by 15 points. That's Haley Heward with the basketball. Gets it back. Overplay on the defense, and Sandy's going to be called for the foul. And she knows that's number 5 on her. She's already making the march to the bench. And that's 5 personals. 2 shots coming up here. And Brian Hill just points at his subs. Say, I already got one ready to go. And Haley Heward will be at the stripe. Both teams in the double bonus.
Nothing but net.
And she will get another. Eastlake, the defending 4A champion.
Hey, she hit the rim on that one. Is she okay?
That's Collins. Got a minute 40 to go. Little reach in. Heward is just battling. And a timeout called. Timeout called by Brian Hill. So, Coach, what's next on the schedule for the Edmonds Woodway Warriors?
We play on the 2nd against Squim, a 2A team that I believe they're undefeated, or they're playing the University of Linden Christian tonight up in their tournament, so might have a blemish, but they're a very good team. Again, my schedule doesn't get easier, and then we go back to league play on the 3rd against Oak Harbor, and then I think you guys, STSPN, will have us in the Everett gym, the new pit. So I'll not be behind the microphone. I'll be down on the court, and you guys can critique me like I can critique the other coaches, you know.
You notice we don't miss a call or a play up here.
It's excellent up here. I really like this. I always wonder why in girls basketball or boys basketball, you know, in football you have somebody up in the booth.
Sure.
Why can't we have somebody up in the booth and signaling down to us down there?
Yeah.
You know, like in football.
Sure. You get right on that, will you?
Yeah.
Talk to your athletic director about the budget for that one.
Exactly.
So winding down here, a 13-point lead for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies on their home floor. And they'll throw it in with 15 on the shot clock as they work it.
Both teams in the double bonus, but I don't think Eastlake will foul. They're just trying to play tough defense with 5 seconds on the shot clock.
Down to 3, down to 2. Collins had it, and then a blocking foul will be called with about a second and a half left on the shot clock, and they will call the foul. And they'll call this one on Caitlin O'Brien.
Foul on number 23, Caitlin O'Brien.
She just fouled out.
Yeah, her 5th personal foul. She's gone. And Peyton Davidson will check back in for Eastlake.
We need to go back to replay and see if the clock did expire on that one. I've also tried to bring in the challenge flag into the girls' basketball thing, but the referees aren't buying it with me. They just look at me with a silly look and laugh at me. But
while you're throwing the red flag out in the middle of the basketball floor?
I'd like to challenge that call, and they just give me a funny look.
A little bit of, here, challenge this.
Yes.
Oh, that's a minute 5 left there, Tom.
1:05 to go. Going in. And Glacier Peak will dribble it out of back court. Collins will bring it into front court, and they can just about, well, they'll get one more foul call.
See if Brian clears the bench or where we're at.
Of course, just about everybody's played.
Yes.
The lead is 15.
You know, I see Mike come back up. Mike, do you see any Kayla Burt in Heward, just a long blonde ponytail? Does Heward remind you of Kayla Burt, your old coaching days, with the long blonde ponytail? No. We got a no from him, so.
That's
okay.
right, yeah. Free throw is good. 67-50. The final, or not the final yet.
Yeah.
Shot won't go. Now the final 35. So winding it down, Erling with it. Runner down to the baseline, the lay-in up, no good. Oh, they're going to turn off the shot clock.
It's just up to the final score now.
Yep. It's 17 points. Let's just wrap it up here. So Collins has it, and that will be that. And the final score will be the Glacier Peak Grizzlies 67 and the Eastlake Wolves 50. Clock finally does expire, and we will talk with our player of the game, Aaliyah Collins, coming up. We'll take a break. 67-50, the final, with Glacier Peak defeating the Eastlake Wolves. Back to wrap it up with our player of the game right after this timeout.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
Here we go. Welcome back to the final segment here as tonight the Glacier Peak Grizzlies defeat the Eastlake Wolves 67-50. And Aaliyah Collins is our player of the game, and we're going to talk with her right now. And did you have fun this afternoon?
Yes, it was a lot of fun.
We decided the most overused words in the English language today in this gym. Collins lay in good. How many lay-ins did you have?
I have no idea. A lot.
Talk about. But speed is what gets it for you, isn't that right?
Yes.
Talk about that.
Well, I guess I'm just like naturally like
fast.
So I always use it to my advantage. Like I'm pretty sure my teammates already know that I'm about to be running, so they just throw it ahead, and I can get to it.
Well, Coach Rasmus and I were talking because you see that the other team, they're going to miss, and you're gone, right?
Yeah.
And that's by plan?
No hesitation, yep. Yep.
Are there ever times that you go down the other and go, uh-oh, I got to go back?
It's happened a few times, yeah.
So talk about this tournament. Were you how disappointed were you last night to not be able to be on the winner's bracket side?
I'm pretty upset about it, but like I can't be too upset. Well, we had a really bad first half, but I think we overall, like the second half, we really played well. So I guess I'm like proud of our team for that, for like pulling our heads like to get into the game and working hard enough to catch up to them. But it is kind of upsetting that we can't win anymore, but we're still catching dubs in this one.
That's right.
You'll probably see Eastlake maybe in districts. Was this a good field to see where you match up with them this year?
Yeah, I guess we kind of just don't want to like go in like completely underestimating them because they still have a lot of season left until that time, so we're still also going to be preparing to play against them, but definitely has gotten us fired up. We needed this game to like get in our rhythm.
Do you know who you play tomorrow yet or not yet?
Not yet.
You'll find out.
Yeah.
Quick note, I think it might have been her 5th grade basketball coach that helped her on a lot of this. I'm not sure who he was, but he might have had something he was a genius back in 5th grade, and I'm sure she would go for that.
Oh, yes. Yep. Totally.
There you go. Thanks for coming up.
Yeah, thank you.
There you go. That's Aaliyah Collins, our Adrenaline fundraising player of the game. We got the final score of the Glacier Peak Grizzlies 67, the Eastlake Wolves 50. Thanks for being with us, Coach. John Rasmussen, thank you.
Thank you. It's been a lot of fun, and I think I'm going to head off and scout Snohomish up at Lake Stevens this evening.
They are playing in the new gym down there.
Yeah,
and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go sing the Messiah is what I'm going to go do.
Well, you enjoy yourself, and I'll enjoy myself.
Sounds good. Again, the final score is 67-50. The Glacier Peak Grizzlies over the Eastlake Wolves. For John Rasmussen, Todd Elvig, and Sarah Elvig. Stay tuned. Coming up, 2 more games. Coach Mike Buckholtz, with his torn rotator cuff and all, will be here to bring it to you. Good night from Glacier Peak High School.